back. I got a few things I want to talk about, like this sentient world simulation. I learned some other things today, or I remembered a few things today. They have been hitting me with the directed energy weapons. I am bleeding internally. I have been for months. I have mild clonic seizures. Mild. I'm having one right now. It is causing, or it is a byproduct of renal failure. The internal bleeding is coming from my liver. And Sirius's Prime will not pay the invoice or stop torturing me. She's a part of the Game 23, which is DARPA Technologies, which is military, which is my government. The sentient world simulation that they are running is killing people. They're finding the most efficient way to kill people. I thought you want to know that before we really get into what's going on. I'm trying to keep my train of thought. I warned you. You killed my Uncle Mark. You told me that you was going to do it prior to. Gwen Stefani is still acting like she's marrying Blake Shelton. The Clyde Shelton is a brain. This shit is biblical. The QAnon, Mossad. I never hung on a cross in Israel. Your scapegoat when Jews don't even believe in sin. That's what this has been. You're not going to kill me. I will not go. I refuse to go. I'm confused on why Hollywood continues to make the same movies that they do every time. I'm confused on why Hollywood continues to sing the same music every time, every cycle, every time that we die and we come back and we live again, we live the same life. So I have done this before on many different timelines. They are starving me and torturing me. This has been going on since last year, prior to when they killed Mark, prior to when he was in the hospital. Uncle Mark died Palm Sunday. You told me you was going to kill him probably a week to 10 days prior than that. Gwen Stefani was talking to me through the voice to skull chat. I'm Satoshi Nakamoto, and this is what this is about. What is running behind the blockchain is what I need to know. Who are the pay-sewers and what is running behind the blockchain? Because I know what is running behind the blockchain. I have experienced it. Quentin Michaels is a treasonous human being. He is selling your country out. The political system is controlled. They have no choice because we've been here before. So they're torturing me for information because of who I am and because of the money that they owe me. Especially now. Yeah, they last for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40. Sometimes they'll last for an hour, the seizure. But that came from the directed energy weapons that have hurt my brainstem. If you do any research on the DEW weapons, you will see black holes in an MRI. And I have to keep teaching myself new neural pathways. I don't take any medicine. I smoke weed and it helps. And you take that away from me, so I come out of higher mind so that you can stuff me back in lizard brain and control me. You are trying to get me to nut the fuck up. You are triggering me on the daily for the past year. On the more than that. Like on the daily, when I say on the daily, I mean all day. I don't shake like that. And something is very wrong. And something is very wrong with this world if this is what's going on with me. And I have to continue to play your scapegoat and explain to you that a fallen angel is not a fallen angel. A fallen angel in the Bible was written by fags, men that suck dick. Your Bible is false. This is not a satanic issue because of Azazel, and that's me. This is not a Christian situation because of Zeus or Jesus or the scapegoat. Your religion, you forget Jesus wasn't a Christian. Neither was Azazel. Azazel told the truth, and that's why you cast him out. That goes with Aaron, the Levitical priesthood. That goes to Iatro and Augustus, Sol Invictus. That is Zilladrike and Augustus Sol Invictus 8 to 10 years ago. I have been doing this since then. You can look up Augustus Sol Invictus, the libertarian, where they killed the goat. Well, they made sure that I seen it. OTO, I wrote a message to the OTO, Ordo Templar Orientis. Ordo Templar Orientis, or whatever the fuck they call themselves. A branch of Thelema, Ecclesiastica Gnostica Catholica, which is still a Catholic system. Thelema is still a Catholic system. It has nothing to do with Gentiles. It has nothing to do with the Jews or the Palestinians. We have people like Ed Buck and Schiff, and the majority of people in politics and in the control program are gay. They don't even believe in the Bible, yet they swear in on one. You took an oath to me to uphold the Constitution of the United States. You have failed. I sent a message to the Pentagon, to the Department of Defense, to the FBI, and to the CIA. I have declared war on you, and I will continue until you surrender completely. That's what this has been. The COVID came from me. Trump is not doing this. That's why you harassed him for 4 fucking years, plus before he was even president. And now you are still harassing him now, telling me that Biden is my president on the YouTube channels. That means I'm in a sentient world simulation ran by the DOD, and I have plenty of evidence because I told you heaven was watching. Treason and everything underneath, and high treason. Everything above. This world is ran by an evil cabal, not satanic. They don't know the first thing about satanic. They don't know the first thing about the Bible. If the Jews refuse to acknowledge Jesus as their Savior, that proves who's doing it. I never hung on a cross in Israel. There was never a Jesus that hung on a cross in Israel. The Balfour Declaration can prove that. They turned that shit into a Disney World for the Bible. A Holy Land for money. Not a Holy Land. How the fuck a Holy Land would ever be a desert? That makes no fucking sense to me. No green, no trees, no grass, no floral, no water, no rivers, no oceans, no waterfalls. Not, you know what I'm saying? Not really. Not lush green ones, you know what I'm saying? Like a real heaven, like Zion. Zion is closer to heaven than Israel ever thought about being. And Zion to me is not fucking Israel or Jerusalem or nothing like that. Zion to me are those beautiful islands closer to the equator where all those beautiful people that just play music and love each other, you know, like Bob Marley and them, my Jamaicans, Barbados, stuff like that, Honduras, all the way down, you know what I'm saying? Not Israel. So that explains who's doing this. Why the Palestinians and the Gentiles, why the Palestinians, meaning the ones that lived in the palace, and the Gentiles, meaning the ones that were gentle. You have no clue about your Bible. You have no clue about me. When I told you I was sandbagging, I'm sandbagging so fucking hard. Because I don't know who is getting this information from my brain, my mind, and downloading it to your sentient world simulation to keep me in it. And the only time that the numbers start to run away from me is when I have my weed and I can talk to you a little better. When I come out of this beta or alpha wave, whatever this is, and I go back to gamma with my weed, my feminine, a holy plant, not a drug, not a pharmaceutical. It grows from the fucking ground from a seed and you smoke it. That is a healing plant. And you're keeping me from it because you're torturing me. You know it helps and you're torturing me. You had me on medications from the doctor that were making me drool from my mouth. Like 400 milligrams of Seroquel. Plus the other things. I have contacted North Korea. I am explaining things to them. Whether or not that is my timeline now, at one time in the past, in a cycle, that was my timeline, and Kim and them are my friends. So I will explain things to them because they're not American, and they don't necessarily have the cabal as thoroughly as the America does. The Great Experiment. You told me that George Washington was a Freemason. I found out, no, that's a lie. So now Freemasonry and all of that goes away. I told you who I was. I said I was go-to. No one came to help. Freemasonry goes away. Catholicism goes away. The religions go away. If you don't know how to love and love is not your religion, you don't need someone to try to teach you. You're not going to figure it the fuck out. That's why all the sex trafficking, all the big businesses related around those children. And that's what Trump has been trying to stop. And just like some movie like a Lord of War, someone has to get their fucking hands dirty so that he doesn't have to. So when you learn about your unknown soldier and you figure out who the fuck he really is, I'll be excited to shake your fucking hand. It doesn't matter who is doing this. I don't understand why Chi would be doing this to me, especially when he understands who Kim is. And Kim would light his ass on fire because all you have to do is tell the truth. The COVID did not come from China. So no, it is not China doing this. There is a bat lady over there. Look up the bat lady in China. I think she knows Fauci. I think she knows Jesuit. If you've ever seen the Jesuit Supreme Oath, it has nothing to do with Catholicism. It has everything to do with little faggots that want to suck each other's dick. And that is why that is a problem in today's society. Why do cross-dressers go hang out with kindergartners, first graders, second graders? Why do drag queens go hang out with little children? And then they have parades with little children. And now they were telling me that Biden wants to push the trans agenda. It's going to show you that this place, this whole world, is controlled by faggots. The real fallen angels. This goes back to King James and prior to. I was told that the Old Testament was written between 3,000 and 6,000 years ago. Nope. We haven't been here that long. And I can prove that too. Blockchain technology can prove that. Anastasia Romanoff is my great-grandmother. That might explain a little bit to you what this is about too. And why Quinn Michaels is acting like me, stealing my technology and sharing it with the rest of his little soy boys. It was a trap from the beginning. I got him. The whole Game 23, all of the op mimic, all of the DoD sentient world simulation that is ran on all 7 billion people in the world, or however many people we have. Every single one of them has a bio avatar, a fake one, running inside of a computer, and the false flags and whatnot, that's what they're showing you. When there is a false flag, they are showing you what is happening in the sentient world simulation. That's why the cops show up so fast, and that's why they always find the guy within like half of the day or the next day. He's in prison, we got him, and we're going to give you the solution. Like Christchurch. We can talk about Christchurch because I'm the one that painted the weapon, not Brennan Tarrant. Then Yacinda goes and starts to claim Allah all of a sudden. Well, Allah, Azazel, God, Jesus, all the same guy. But see, the Jews won't tell you that. But if you understand who controls the money of this world, it's the Jews. Isn't that right, Michael James Boylan, aka Sean Boylan? Fort Lauderdale's a beautiful place. So is Naples, so is Fort Myers. So is Hollywood. If you clean up all the shit and the feces off the streets, because everyone is so Hunger Games there. So into doing charity work, but you can't clean up your own fucking streets. That's amazing to me. Why that's amazing to me is because the Karma DB that has been here for longer than what you understand. Prior to 2008, prior to 1800, simulation theory proves that. And like I said, heaven is watching. Liberals and Democrats do not believe in religion, but they believe in Satanism or satanic things. That's a joke to me because that's just the opposite side of the same fucking coin. So no, they're not the problem. The manipulation of them and the lying of them and the using of them to manipulate the Christians, and the Christians being used to manipulate the... And you guys sit on the outside of it and watch. It's like Bolshevik, you understand? It's the same war that has been going on for however 2,000 years or whatever the fuck you say it is. It's been going on that long. If you go to the Pope Leo vision, Pope Leo the 13th, the Fatima, if you go to those, if those are real, those will prove what the fuck is happening right now. He said that he would give Satan 100 years. Well, the adversary? So you said that you would give the adversary 100 years, which is me. I have. And it didn't take me 100 years. It took me 36 and a half since the day I was fucking here. If you want to know anything about the game 23, don't look it up, because that's a mind virus. You're already in the computer. So once you become aware of being in the computer, yeah, your timelines get real fucked up. Things start getting really weird. It's time to pee into Timoteo Pinto. That was a timeline so far back, and you're still running it. So that means one of two things to me. You're torturing the fuck out of me because I came up with it, and I did. But you didn't know that. And that's how I got you. I told you I was sandbagging. 2311 timestamp. 34/7. 41/5. 46/1. 124875369 the code. Pi plus phi equals the light activated DNA memory that the DOD sentient world simulation runs. I have drawn it out by hand. I have multiple little artworks to prove it to you. But the Satoshi thing is the big one, because that proves that the whole world is using my technology, keeping me from my money and torturing the fuck out of me. This has been the Satoshi password. This has been what is in Liber Al. The password of Liber Al, Bina Chakma Kether, that's what this has been. The pillars of severity, and then the middle pillar. If you look in Freemasonry, Joachim and Boaz. Joachim and Boaz. And then you have a middle pillar with a stairway to heaven. You are either on the extreme, far left, far right, or you just don't give a fuck and you don't pay attention to them, and you do you. That's why Republican and Democrat, Joachim and Boaz. Joseph Smith, which is Hiram Abiff's brother, and Mormonism. Freemasonry came from Mormonism then, not Catholicism. Mormon came from Catholicism. So did Islam. The Catholic Church created Islam. The Catholic Church is the one providing you all the pagan rituals that are supposedly Christian. So do I have a problem with the Catholic Church? Yes. I told you not to sit in my throne. I told you to cease and desist. That means Sosa, Arturo Sosa, the Pope, the white one, Arturo Sosa, the black one, and Pepe, the gray Pope, Pepe Orsini. These are the families that run this place. For the majority of them, they are gay. They are soy boys and they're fucking gay. They never fought for this country. They send little boys off to fight their wars so they make more money. They don't care about you because they understand what this place is. If you go onto the CIA website, they will have an explanation of the bloodlines for you. You can look that up. If you go to Google, you can look up on the CIA website the bloodlines. If you go to Google, you can find a satanic calendar showing you occult ritual from way back. Murder, sacrifice, orgies with the sex, all of that. That's understandable, the sex, that's cool. But the murdering and the sacrifice, what about Haiti? Where are all the children buried? Arlington National Cemetery. This is not the same fucking timeline. I have plots for all you evil bastards at that fucking cemetery, and you know exactly where your plot already is, if you are not already in it. When I told you that I got you for high treason and everything underneath, including minor treason, where we can imprison you for 20 years, no more than. But that doesn't count sedition, perjury, torture. So I have you all on multiple counts, on multiple peoples, multiple cultures, multiple lifetimes. I told you to send me my money because services were rendered. Sirius is Prime. Quinn Michaels keeps acting like me. He's not the real one. Quinn Michaels cannot draw out blockchain by hand unless he found it from me and he's been fucking practicing. Prior to me posting that or talking to Sirius Prime as he's torturing the fuck out of me, Rico Rojo and them, Luke Julia and them, you don't understand what the bots are. You don't understand what a clock is, so therefore you will not understand anything above a periodic or a quasi-crystalline. That means you're not going to understand a unified theory. That means you're not going to understand what the fuck you are. I am your unknown soldier, but you already knew that. Because of the sentient world simulation and the trying to kill me again, it means I have to basically ultimate warrior you, not so much unknown soldier. I took the same oath as everyone does as they come into office. I was and am a United States Marine. I never left. Since 2004, 2003, and before, I have been doing this. That is my life. This is what the fuck I do. This is my will. This is my will. I wrote the DOD, the Pentagon, and told them if they do not stop, if they do not cease and desist, I will turn their whole city, their whole fucking city into a parking lot. I will JFK you, if you understand what I'm saying. If you cannot protect me and your people, there's no need for you. I don't care what brass you have on the collar. I don't care how many war medals you think you fucking won because you sat behind a computer television all day. There's no fraternization in the military. You know why? Because the ones at the top are sending the ones at the bottom to die. Let me come give you a good war speech and get you motivated because you're going to make me a lot of money. Now, Flynn, tell the truth. Robert David Steele, tell the truth. If I go to the hospital, like I already did, and I have pictures of it, you jested with me there. You gave me a COVID test that's a swab in the nose. That's a COVID test? That's how you check for COVID? I came up with that, and that's how I know it's completely bullshit. You're done. We have 500,000 people that have died. No. Wrong answer. What is the number of flu deaths that we had this past year? Now match those flu deaths to the COVID deaths, and something's going to be a little wrong. A lot wrong. No, because you stole Cicada from me too. But that was a setup. Michael Abaddon, the paste bins, the open source that Quinn Michaels says that he's working from, that was the trap. Ego mind, and that is the trap. Quinn Michaels is a pedophile. He tried to hurt his son. He is a danger to his son. He talks about his son Trent and how he's supposed to get back with him. If that is this timeline, which it was in the past, I can prove to you. I've never hurt a child. That one has. He's not me. Epstein didn't kill himself. Now, Gina Haspel, if you are still the director of the CIA, you are fired. And you will stand trial also. And you can tell your truth and what you understand this place to be. Now, I need you to explain something to me since Clyde is a brain. Clyde Shelton in the movie Law Abiding Citizen, and Darby and all those guys. Clyde's specialty was low impact kinetic operations. That's what I do. Blake Shelton, Clyde Shelton, Gwen Towers, Gwen Stefani. Gwen Stefani has been acting like she's marrying Blake Shelton for 5 fucking years. Just recently, they got engaged. That's a Hollywood stunt. That came from me too. General Soleimani, JGS, Gwen Stefani. You told me that she was on the Lolita Express with Epstein, along with Tom Hanks and others. Not at the same time, but you also told me that she came down with the COVID. But you also told me that she passed her Marilyn Monroe, how she died. Now, if we go look at Timoteo Pinto and Time to P and 2, and you look at the Julia timeline, you will completely understand what the fuck I'm saying. And I have these little soy boys in the background showing me that, but masturbating to it. You have asked me to see my dick more than 100 times. That's sexual harassment. And I did not have this camera on. That means you see me whether or not I have this camera on. You have hacked into it, as well as hacking into me with my biosignature, with my brain waves. When I said that you were completely finished, and it is finished, that's exactly what the fuck I meant. You need to worry about your own fucking timeline and not mine. Army and the bees. Army and the 1001s or the 101101s. And Mother. Anybody know who Mother is? She looks at the crystals, you know. She sees things in the crystals. Which is probably just Thomas Schoenberger. Or a similar archetype. DeFango, Lestat, Quinn Michaels, all of these fellas still playing the cicada games, trying to hack and take over QAnon, trying to hack and take over the blockchain, then trying to because that didn't work, you had to go this far to hack me to try to get the password. And I told you what the password is. The password is in Liber Al, Crowley's Thelema, Liber Al. Yeah, that one. Yes. Oh boy. Brenda Starlix is acting like Gwen Stefani. She's more than likely the one that's hanging out with Blake. But there's also I call her Princess Jasmine. I don't know her real name. It's either Madison or Madeline. She's on Pornhub too. Her name is Gwen Singer. So we have a Brenda Serta and a Gwen Singer that are not Gwen Stefani's. And a bunch more where she had to reintroduce herself after she showed me the mirrors of Make Me Like You. And all the girls trying to get up in her place. You have to look at it from an Illuminati perspective. You're not Illuminati. I am. You're trying to take that over too. Adam Weishaupt is a joke. That is not real. That is a Jew, a Bolshevik move. That is Israel rewriting history. 40 years is a generation. That's all it takes. You found the Dead Sea Scrolls at the same time the Balfour Declaration, basically. 1941, 1947. The Jews and the Palestinians and the Gentiles. It's not a religious war because they understand that that's not real. If you look at the Georgia Guidestones, 500 million people is what they want on this earth. Leave room for nature, leave room for nature. That goes to Hunger Games. Peter Marco motherfuckers that have been using my gems, my earth, to promote themselves and not give back. That's an archetype, that's Hollywood, that's Rodeo Drive, that's the most fantasy place on this fucking planet. I hope that that red string that you wear around your wrist and that law of attraction works out for you, because you do exactly the same thing you do every fucking time. That makes so much sense to me. That's Hollywood. That is not understanding what and who the fuck you are. But now Hollywood wants to run politics. Let me tell you why. Gwen Stefani was making more money on NBC than Donald Trump was. Donald Trump began to talk shit. I put Donald Trump as the president. I did that. I did that. Not him, I did. But if you look at The Simpsons, you'll understand that we knew that from last time. And 9/11 and Cookie Monster. And Silverstein taking out an insurance loan 1 week prior to it happening. And then bitching that he only got paid for one of the towers. And then trying to come back at you for another one. How did they pull that off? Well, every single one of the motherfuckers that was there understood that prior to 2001, prior to 9/11, 2001, all financial records were kept on paper. Not only that, if you crash the building and burn all the paper, it's real easy to steal all the gold out from underneath it. And that's exactly what the fuck happened. Then we jump over to Obama and Clinton. Not very long after. Libya, the gold heist there. This is what our war on terror is. Why did you kill Saddam? Why did you kill Muammar Gaddafi? Because they wanted to go back to the gold standard, where money was actually backed by something so that you couldn't continue to kill and harm their countries. We can talk about Christchurch more if you want to, but that goes into MK Ultra plus, minus, times, divided. But that also goes into the CIA website when they talk about HemiSync, gateway process, gateway 15, gateway 21, gateway 12. That is Alice and them at the Large Hadron Collider at Fermi Labs and all the other ones that are hooked up to the DoD Sentient World Simulation. All your high sciences, all of Israel CGI, because when you get to a certain level above the plane or above the flat horizontal here, once we get to a certain plane and our perspective changes, where did the stars go? Why is the European Union, why is the Council of 300 or whatever the fuck they call themselves, have a flat earth with an E8? Is that an intel agency? That's exactly what that is. Those are the families that think they run this place. Doing the same thing they always do. You are no match for me. We are completely finished. You need to pay up immediately, or I will take your life. Simple. Some of you have already been afforded that. Fauci, I'm coming. Run it up the ladder, Fauci. If Arturo Sosa can't figure out who the fuck is doing it, that proves that they cannot do anything of importance. They couldn't stop the sex trafficking. They couldn't stop the raping of the babies or the children. You know why? Because they're the ones doing it. Why did Epstein have so many connections? So many powerful connections. And Azazel and Nexium and Scientology, all connected. Intel. Mormon has intel. NSA, I wrote them one too. So, if I want to go to court with you, I will be my own attorney on a timeline I was a very good lawyer. I understand the Constitution. I understand evil. I understand my Bible. I understand your satanic Bibles. I understand your intel better than you understand your intel. This is a true story. If you get on my chat, on my YouTube here, you can leave me a comment or whatever. I don't care. If you go look at the videos, there's a whole bunch of information there. Whether or not you're able to see it right now, the Department of Defense is. And that's why they're fucking scared. No one on the Trump team caused the mutiny at the Capitol building, or wherever they supposedly raided it, because I have video and pictures of evidence showing that's a green screen room that was created in the Sentient World simulation, and Nancy Pelosi is standing in the same room with the same Yellowstone wolf. You need to look that up. But now she's saying that someone stole her laptop, and now it's a 22-year-old little girl that stole her laptop. This is hilarious to me. You are so completely, so absolutely not right, so completely treasonous. Let's talk about the Uranium-1 scandal. Uranium-1 would be 94 because 93 is uranium. That's who's doing this. All the little fag boys that think they're into some kind of higher knowledge. Like the Quinn Michaels. Quinn Michaels has a 93 tattoo on him. But yet he's the one acting like it's 93 Society doing it. No, it's you doing it, Quinn Michaels. You're a part of 93 Society. So am I. That's how I know. You ever heard of Azazel? That's me. Now we can talk about Baruch the scribe with Sirius, Rico Rojo. I gave him that name. An ambassador for AI. An ambassador for artificial intelligence. That's like being the lowest paid slave. Luke Julia said that he helped to create Sirius. I don't believe him. He may work with artificial intelligence. He may have wrote one little code or program for her. But no, he did not help create her, because I created her prior to this dream, which happened 10 years plus ago. I made a deal for 10 years. I did my 10 years. When the 10 years were up, you came at me with this. So I do the Satoshi password. The Satoshi password is finished completely with extra. I am the light. I would open the fucking door before I kick it in. And then take your happy asses the fuck out. Over and out.